Hello everyone, this is Tactical H here and welcome to another battle replay. Today we'll be looking at a Tomb Kings versus Lizardman replay featuring skeleton chariots. 4 of them actually, the max chariot limit. And yeah, let's have a look at the army builds. For the skeleton army, the Tomb Kings, well, a front line of skeleton warriors, chaff to delay enemy advance. In the middle, Scorpion Legion, poison spears. At the back, a couple tomb gods with halberds guarding a couple Ushaptis with great bows. High Queen Khalida is leading the army with her decent melee attack buffs as well as missile attack buffs. Now for the spellcasting department, Lich Priest coming in with Shim's Burning Gaze, Fast Protection, and the Net. As for the mobility here, we have the focus of this video. 4 skeleton archers. Well, they are not exactly good chariots, but they do have a lot of model counts, meaning that as long as they charge into the backlines or charge into enemy units, the numbers can provide a lot of contact surface area and dish out a lot of damage. The missile attacks, despite not being very strong, can also dish out some decent damage. As for the Lizardman army, we have a couple Pterodon riders in the skies. In the front line, we have Saurus warrior spams, 4 of them with shields, a couple at the back Saurus spears, one of them the Legion of Chakwa, all with shields, and Bastillodon with solar engine provides some firepower. As for leadership, we have kroq-gar on Grimlock and a Skink Oracle on Troglodyte. That's a lot of anti-large armor-piercing power, especially Troglodyte with the devastating missile attacks, enabling healing and fireballs as tactical options. And that's basically it for army builds. Let's get a battle started and see how it plays out. Now, seeing that my opponent only bringing a Bastillodon and also a Troglodyte for artillery fire, I know that I do have the artillery advantage here. Using the Ushapti, I should be able to break these Bastillodon and also snipe out the Lizardman leadership. Now with that many chariots, I was pretty confident, so I just pushed them forward, trying to get some poking damage with the missile attacks. But one thing I forgot about is the Troglodyte. Especially with a Skink Oracle on top, they can fire 2 shots, obliterating 2 chariot models right at the start. And with the combination of some Bastillodon fire attack, skeleton archer chariots are taking quite a bit of damage here. 1 shot, 1 kill from the Troglodyte. So I pull them back, looking for a better opportunity to charge down the Saurus warriors in the middle, who are rather vulnerable to chariot attacks. One thing about Saurus warriors is that they are pretty bad against chariots. Yes, they do have 60 armor, but that is not enough for them to tank out the damage from chariots. Skeleton archer chariots, despite a missile unit, still have decent weapon strength, especially with a massive bonus versus infantry buff. Combined with the charge bonus and the large contact area coming from all the models of chariots, a rear charge into the Saurus warriors can wreak havoc along the infantry lines. While I was busy maneuvering the chariots, my opponent dumped a massive Hand of the Gods onto Khalida, and that put a huge dent in High Queen Khalida's HP, and also engaging in combat with kroq-gar basically munched down a skeleton chariot unit. The Pterodons are still here in the back in reserve, but honestly should use their blow dart to focus down the chariots or the Ushaptis, or at least use the rock drops to break through the Tomb King infantry. This mistake allows the chariots to roam freely, tangling the Lizardman monsters in melee combat, while the Ushaptis are now free to fire, focusing down the solar engine. You can see here kroq-gar being tangled upon on these cheap chariots is already taking quite a bit of damage from the Ushaptis and also poking fire and melee attack, and the Skink Oracle using up most of his ammo. While in the front line, the skeletons are crumbling for sure, as there are not a lot of resistance against the Saurus warriors. They're pretty bad in terms of melee combat. Still, a chariot charging into the backs of these Saurus warriors and pull through did manage to wreck the unit, using that impact damage to put them into less than half health. While the other Saurus warriors are just munching down these skeleton warriors. Now even the elite tomb gods who were held in reserves has to push forward to delay the advance of these Saurus warriors. In the rear of the Lizardman army, the Bastillodon is routing from the focus fire from the Ushaptis. Some tighter skeleton archer chariots are pursuing this Bastillodon. With more HP left than the Bastillodon, they should have enough value to keep the monster en route. Now back to the front line, High Queen Khalida's health has dropped to a dangerous level, activating the curse, draining the life of the Saurus warriors. This actually turns the tide of combat, and High Queen Khalida, with the help of some skeleton warriors, are now punching through the Saurus lines, allowing the chariots to do a slam into the back and routing 2 Saurus warriors at once, after routing this one spear Saurus in the middle. But High Queen Khalida only 394 HP left, not long for this world. Although she did tangle up the Skink Oracle, allowing the Tomb Guard to push through, saturate on top, and the Ushapti to fire at the Skink Oracle. However, over here, the Lich Priest is caught in combat against kroq-gar. As a character with no mount, this character certainly has no hope in escape, so one last spell going down, and Overcast Net, trapping all of these Saurus warriors, and kroq-gar stopping them from moving, allowing these chariots to slam into the back, and also tangle kroq-gar, delaying his advance, allowing the Ushapti to keep firing. And at the back you can see that the Bastiladon is getting pushed away, while these Saurus warriors, they are doing a pretty futile chase against the chariots, as they are slower than both the Bastiladon and the Archer Chariots. On the left flank, the Tomb Gods emerge victorious against the Saurus warriors and shall be maneuvering to the right flank to assist, though they are already rather tattered from the initial engagements. On the right flank, the only active Lizardman infantry are the Legion of Chariot, who are already very battered from all the rear charges from the Skeleton Archer Chariots. However, High Queen Khalida being solo means that she'll probably be dead with all the poke damage from the Pterodon Riders and kroq-gar hunting her booty, but the good thing is we still have a lot of Tomb Gods here. In contrast, the Lizardman Chakwa Legion is pretty much down for the count, with less than 40% HP left. Saurus warriors with mediocre melee stats really relies on their high weapon strength to do the damage, but the poison from the Scorpion Legion directly counters that, taking away their damage, lower their battle performances. However, my opponents still have a bunch of Saurus warriors scattered around the battlefield. As long as they regroup, should still remain a decent threat. Though for kroq-gar over the count being hammered by the Ushaptis, things are looking a bit dicey. Especially in the middle, after one last charge from the Skeleton Archer Chariots, the Legion of Chariot breaks, leaving no resistance against the Tomb Kings in the middle. And an overview, other than the Ushapti with great bows and also the 3 chariots chasing down the Bastiladon, I still have some chariots on the right. As for infantry department, a very healthy unit of Tomb Gods, as well as the Scorpion Legion. Though with a rock drop still reserved on the Lizardman side, I do have to be careful with blobbing, as one rock drop can easily turn things around. On the far side, some Saurus with shields are beating down some skeletons. Not that the skeletons can do a lot of damage against the Saurus, but they do buy time for the rest of my forces. One last Saurus spear pushing into combat against these Ushapti with great bows, but a combined charge from the Skeleton Archer Chariots routs this unit, using the ground mobility advantage to divide and conquer the Saurus units. And yeah, that's basically it for the Lizardman army. The Pterodon Riders running out of ammo, one last charge from the Legion of Chariot into the Scorpion Legion. With Regiment Renown status with 38 defense, should still do fine against the 39 attack of the Chariot Legion. With the numbers advantage, they should be able to win out this fight. The Pterodon Riders slamming in, trying to aid the Legion of Chariot in combat, but with the Chariot Legion routing, Pterodon Riders will be caught in combat with some Ushapti great bows blocking their escape, and with that, this Pterodon Rider is gone. Now for the leadership of the Lizardman, the kroq-gar and Grimlock are heavily focused down by the Ushaptis, with only a sliver of health left. Seeing how low kroq-gar is, these Skeleton Chariots, although very tattered, are now trying to push forward, using what remains on their ammo to hunt down kroq-gar, at least give him a little bit more missile chip damage, and maybe push him off the map. Seeing that kroq-gar is on the brink of death, my opponent knows that he can't take any more damage. Wisely pull away with kroq-gar and, well, try to get away from all these missile threats, especially with an Ushapti with great bows pushing forward, trying to hunt him down, and Pterodon Riders trying to intercept these Skeleton Archer Chariots. Though with only a couple of models left and so low in health, crumbling rapidly, they should be hunted down without an issue, while these Skeleton Chariot Archers are now out of ammo and has to pull back to rejoin the main forces. The rest of the Tomb King infantry are just pushing forward, trying to keep up with these Ushapti with great bows, who are now taking pot shots at kroq-gar, trying to take away whatever's left in his HP bar. One shot actually landed and shattered kroq-gar. With morale getting tanked by a routing leader, the Lizardmen just don't have much to pull back the game. Yes, there are Chariot riders coming in to hunt down the chariots, but the Ushabti with great bows can easily countercharge them, tie them down in combat and finish them off, killing all remaining dinosaur mobilities. Even if they survive, the Chariot riders simply can't do enough damage to my units. Yes, there are still some Saurus warriors left, but being so tattered themselves, while I still have so many models left for my Tomb Gods and Scorpion Legion, I can simply tie them down in melee combat with my infantry, while using my Ushabti with great bows, charging into the barracks, breaking their leadership, and sealing the deal. So before we look into the battle performances, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, as I'll be regularly uploading content on battle replays like this one, tips and strategies for multiplayer or wild army builds. And if you have any replays that you are proud of and want to showcase, feel free to drop by my Discord or send me an email with the replay attached. I will be sure to check it out and see if I can make a video out of it. Now for the post-battle screen, we have the Tomb Kings here, the skeleton line not doing much as they are basically skeletons, not much to talk about. For the heroes, Lich Priest not getting a lot of value as he is mostly there for the support, using the nets or fast protection if they had a chance, but they died horribly to kroq-gar, so not much can be said about him. High Queen Khalida only 900 value as she was focused down by the Hand of the Gods and then fireball spams from the Skink Oracle. The Scorpion Legion though did get their value back, 688 value, and still have a lot of steam to go. Their poison is very key in hampering the performances of the Saurus warriors as it debuffs their weapon strength, which is the biggest strength of the Saurus warriors. Tomb Gods with halberds not getting a lot of value as they were mostly fighting against Saurus infantry. They are just mostly there to tank out the damage, hold the line, and maybe dish out damage against monsters. But this time, the most of the damage against the monsters were dished out by the Ushabti with great bows, 2698 value on this one, over 2000 on this one as well, getting chevrons. As always, a very solid unit. Now for the focus unit, the Skeleton Archer Chariot only getting 700 value, but these ones getting over 1000, doing some really solid work against the Saurus Warrior Infantry. Rolling through the Saurus Infantry line, freeing up my resources, allowing them to tangle up other Saurus Infantry, and also buy time for the Ushabti with great bows to shoot. As for the Lizardman army, kroq-gar did some really solid damage, hunting down the Chariots and the Lich Priest and also High Queen Khalida, but there's just too much missile pressure from the Ushabti with great bows, sniping him out on his Grimlock mount. Skink Oracle, 2600 value, no doubt his missile attacks against High Queen Khalida and also the Chariots earned back quite a bit of value. Also with the fireball spams chipping away the health of Queen Khalida, got some pretty solid work done. Saurus Spears, not a lot of value as for the rest of the Saurus warriors. They were mostly fighting against skeleton warriors and also being trampled by these chariots. Not that they're a bad infantry, just that they are not facing the best opponents they should be dealing with, and as a result, not earning back a lot of value. Chaqua Legion, 500 only as well, not being able to punch into the back lines to tie down the Ushabtis with great bows, so earning limited value. Pterodon Riders actually did some decent work with their rock drops and blow darts, just that in the late game there's not a lot of targets for them to shoot at. They can shoot at the Ushabtis, but the heavy armor means that their blow darts do limited damage. Bastillodons being out-traded by Ushabtis and also chased off by Skeleton Archer Chariots, so not the best value. And yeah, that's basically it for today's replay. You can see that the Skeleton Archer Chariots, some of them got wrecked pretty hard in the early game, but in the end, this one chased down the Bastillodon, acting as a pretty decent mobile piece, while the other two actually did some very solid work in rampaging alongside the Saurus infantry line. This one getting wrecked early, but still, overall, the Skeleton Chariots are very solid, especially in this Chariot meta. Yes, they are mostly a missile unit, but they are still a Chariot, meaning that they can easily ruin any infantry line if they get a decent rear charge with the high charge bonus. And yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich, signing out.